So Biden's budget proposal for the fiscal year of 2024 adds nearly $2 billion to the budget of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, aka the ATF. Now, keep in mind that right now, there are a bunch of lawsuits filed against the ATF for overstepping their authority, like their little wonky stabilizer brace rule, and the 80% frame rule, and the bump stock ban. You see, the budget language says that the money is to add more ATF personnel and efforts against gun trafficking, and get this, increase regulation of the firearms industry, as if we don't have enough regulations as is. The ATF doesn't need any more money. It needs to focus on real criminals and crime and stop doing everything in their power to harass and usurp the American people's Second Amendment right. It's truly getting out of control. The ATF is like the Human Resource Department for the Destroy Your 2A Rights, Inc. The amount of hoops that the ATF creates for people to exercise their right is mind-blowing and unnecessary. It isn't making anyone safer. How can it? They spend more time worried about how law-abiding people use a piece of rubber on their shoulder than they do actual criminals trafficking guns. The Biden administration has literally weaponized the ATF to make exercising your 2A rights almost impossible to do without breaking some type of random rule that the ATF woke up and decided it wanted to create. You know how many people look at me funny when I tell them they can't put a stock on their rifle until they pay a $200 tax to the ATF and then have to wait 30 to 365 days depending on how you acquire the rifle simply because it's less than 16 inches? 90% of the people don't even realize this, and it's a felony if you break this law. And that's another problem. The ATF isn't allowed to make laws, but that's exactly what they try to do. They think by simply calling them rules, we won't notice that it actually has the effect of being a law. And last I checked, only Congress can pass laws. Then when they do this nonsense, we have to sue the ATF and go through years of litigation and money only for the court to tell us what we already knew. The rule is unconstitutional. And when the government spends all this money fighting these unconstitutional rules that they know are unconstitutional and then lose, they just propose a budget increase that we, the people, have to pay via taxes to recoup the money they spent fighting for an unconstitutional rule that they knew was unconstitutional. So in reality, we have to pay money to fight against the unconstitutional rules that the ATF is trying to pass, while at the same time pay for the ATF so they can fight to pass their unconstitutional rules. Do you not see how ridiculous this is? If the ATF simply focused their attention on real criminals instead of trying to turn people into criminals, there would be no need for an increased ATF budget. Hell, people may actually start to like the ATF because they'd actually be stopping real criminals. But no, they rather spend time making it harder on people who just want a shorter rifle to better defend their homes and a suppressor so that they don't blow their ears out in the process.
You know, we talk a lot about empowerment in this country, except for when it comes to the Second Amendment. However, I can't think of anything more empowering than having the most effective tool to protect you and your family. So help me spread this message by liking and sharing this video with everyone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, because the Second Amendment, when it said militia, it wasn't talking about the government. It was talking about you. Also, if you want to know where to find the I'm the Militia shirt and merchandise, click the I'm the Militia link in the description section of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.